It's a win, but it doesn't feel like it. The Jets beat the Bills, a punt return in overtime, but a big loss with Aaron Rodgers done for the season, or at least likely done for the season. Athletes know their bodies. If you watch, Aaron Rodgers seems pretty composed. Now, I know that he knows the cameras are on him, but when he goes down, he almost is resigned to the fact that something is really serious. Now, it's not like he's had an Achilles injury before where you go, yep, I know what that is. You know, when Kobe Bryant got injured, Kobe knew right away. Now, he got up, shot his 2 free throws, but he limped off, and he knew that this was serious. It was the Achilles. I have played basketball before where I was playing and a teammate of mine blew out both of his Achilles. On the same play, he blew them out. He thought he'd been shot. People, when they get hit in the Achilles or the Achilles goes, they think they got kicked. And sometimes you'll see them turn around like, who kicked me? Aaron Rodgers knew something was really serious last night. And you could see him. You know, when he sat down, it just like, God, it could not, this is not possible. And then you saw him limping. I don't know how much pain he was in because that kind of varies, you know, depending on who it is. You know, Kevin Durant blew out his Achilles, and Kobe, you know, didn't seem like they were grimacing in pain, even Aaron Rodgers last night. But then you have players, people who blow out their Achilles, and it's like they got shot. 4 plays. I don't know if I've ever witnessed a higher high and a lower low in a span of 30 minutes covering sports for 40 years now. That atmosphere there, Aaron Rodgers runs out with the American flag, the anniversary of 9/11. They got the spotlight on him. Here we go. Here we go. Months of hype, hard knocks. And then all of a sudden, he was under duress in 3 of the 4 plays that he had. We knew that the offensive line was going to be an issue. We didn't know it was going to be that big of an issue that soon. But he's done. And Zach Wilson is now your starting quarterback. Or is he? Because you have a Super Bowl talented roster. You have to exhaust all avenues here if you're the Jets. So we'll talk to one of their beat writers, Brian Costello of the New York Post. Is there a chance? And you have to ask the question. Would Tom Brady like to play for the Jets after a day before saying that he was a Patriot for life? But, hey, you can be a Patriot for life, but can you be a Jet for, I don't know, a few months now? Yeah. 877-3DP Show, email address, dp@danpatrick.com, Twitter handle at DP Show. It was an oh, by the way, the Jets won the game, and this is how it sounded.
And getting away, a line drive kick is Sam Martin. Gibson runs under it at the Jet 35. Starts to his left, gets to the 40, turns the corner at the 45, 50. Blockers in front at the 40, at the Bills 30, inside the 20. Stutter steps to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown! It's a Jet touchdown! This game is over!
Jets Radio Network with the call. Wonderful call. The Buffalo Bills lost this game. The Jets are going to get credit for a victory. Buffalo lost this game. They had as many turnovers as they did points in the second half. 3. Josh Allen played horribly and had this to say afterwards.
Josh, the 4 turnovers, was that something that they did, or is that just you maybe forcing the ball, trying to force the ball in a little bit?
Yeah, trying to force the ball. Yeah, same same place, different day.
You would think that Zach Wilson would play that way, not Josh Allen. We've been down this road. When he first started, he didn't look like, now I'm talking about when he first got to Buffalo. I said, I don't know if he knows how to play the position because he made a lot of bad mistakes. And he forced the ball last night. He threw a couple of interceptions. You're just going, why? And then the fumble there. Stat of the day brought to you by Panini America, the official trading cards of the Dan Patrick Show. Come up with a poll question, play of the day, and, of course, many stats of the day as well. But this is the call if you were listening on radio with the Jets and Aaron Rodgers and your season perhaps heading south.
Takes the snap, drops back, looks over the middle, under pressure, and he will be sacked. Back to the 32-yard line by Leonard Floyd. So the Bills get a big negative, and Aaron Rodgers gets up with a limp. Aaron Rodgers right now doesn't look 100% right.
Well, that's a delayed blitz because it's got Leonard Floyd, the right
He's going
defensive
down.
end.
Aaron Rodgers is sitting down in the field. He's hurt. 11:15 to go in the opening quarter, and Aaron Rodgers is injured on the sack by Leonard Floyd. And the Jet training staff surrounds him, and Zach Wilson pops up and starts to get ready and take some warm-up throws.
Questionable, then doubtful, then out for the game. It didn't take long. And you could tell the owner, Woody Johnson, was informed. You could tell when Robert Saleh knew that it was going to be serious. And body language-wise, you knew Aaron Rodgers knew right away. By the way, who would have thought that Zach Wilson would have a better quarterback rating than Josh Allen? But he did last night. Is Josh Allen or is Zach Wilson good enough to keep this team in contention? I was curious about what are the Super Bowl odds. The Jets were plus 1,600 to win the Super Bowl start of the season. That's pretty good. The injury, according to DraftKings, the Jets are now plus 6,000. Do you know who has better odds to win the Super Bowl? The Green Bay Packers do.
Woo! Ow! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! This is the stat of the day!
By the way, the Packers lost last night because if Aaron Rodgers played, I think, upwards of 65% of the snaps, 70% of the snaps, Green Bay would have gotten a first-round draft pick. Now, as a result of the injury, it's a second-round draft pick. Early odds for the Jets and Cowboys. The Jets are getting 7.5 at Dallas. I can't imagine what Micah Parsons probably thought when he saw Aaron Rodgers go down and went, Zach Wilson is on the menu next weekend. I love that. Yes, Marv.
First Daniel Jones, now Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Party time.
Yeah. Inflate those numbers with that Dallas defense. All right, 877-3DP Show. Email address dp@danpatrick.com. Twitter handle @DP Show. Here is Robert Saleh, the Jets head coach, when he found out Rodgers was done.
Kind of knew midway that he was out. Obviously, we knew he was out, and when they told me what they think it was, I just recalling the look on Aaron's face before he went and took his knee. Pretty much knew in the first half.
Yeah, he knew. He knew right away. This is something different. It's a different type of injury. Guys, when they bang up their knee or their shoulder, they know it. An Achilles, that's something that is not usual, not normal. This program this hour brought to you by Discover Credit Cards. They do something really awesome at the end of your first year. Automatically double all the cash back you've earned. The cash back from trips and restaurants. See terms and check it out for yourself. Discover.com/match. All right, Seton, what's poll question today?
Well, I think we're going to try and solve the Jets quarterback situation, Dan.
Okay.
The Jets at quarterback should stick or search. Classic Dan Patrick show game. Stick or search.
Of course, Sticker Search. Brought to you by
Miller Lite.
Stick.
Do they stick with Zach Wilson or do they go look for somebody?
Okay, you can look, but are you going to find a Nick Foles type of quarterback?
And do you want to find a Nick Foles type of quarterback?
Or Nick Foles?
Well, it feels like Phillip Rivers is always ready to play.
No, he's not it.
No, he's not.
No.
But that wasn't going to...
He's ready to play, but that doesn't mean he can.
Yeah. Hey, no, Phil. You know, it's like the kid in class who raises his hand, and you're like, no, I'm not going to call on you. Yes, Todd.
Rather have Zach Wilson or Matt Ryan, or was that such a disaster with the Colts? Was that something you would even look at all?
Do the Jets know what they have in Zach Wilson? I think that's really the key. It's like the Packers. They knew what they had in Jordan Love. They were going to move on from Rodgers the previous year, for a variety of reasons. They move on from the drama here, but they knew what they had in Jordan Love. I don't know if the Jets know, and maybe they do know what they have in Zach Wilson, but you got him under contract. You can't demote him to third string. Well, second string, he'd be the backup to somebody. Do you look at Jacoby Brissett? Do you look at Gardner Minshew? Do you look at Carson Wentz? do you look at Tom Brady? I have to at least ask the question for Tom Brady.
The Tom Brady thing is funny, but why not?
Sure.
You need a dude for 1 year while Aaron Rodgers is fixing his ankle, fixing his Achilles. You know he's not going to want to stay longer than that.
Well, you never know with Tom.
Nah.
You never know. But here's another thing. You have to factor in Aaron Rodgers' age here. This is a year-long process. He is going to be 40 in December, and you're trying to come back from an Achilles injury. This is different than all the surgeries. I mean, surgeries now, it's amazing what they're able to do and get you back playing. But in Achilles, there's no shortcut. He's going to be 40 rehabbing this to try to come back. And I don't even know if that's enough time to be able to come back. Dan Marino blew out his Achilles late in his career. These things happen, and then trying to come back, and then really having the energy to want to come back. Remember, he was saying, hey, I'm in it for a couple of years here. Now, I owe that to the Jets. Well, we didn't think that this was going to happen. And now Aaron Rodgers rehab for a year to come back. Can you get somebody? Who can you get? Because that's a good roster. Yeah, Paulie.
A couple things. Nick Foles is 34. He's 5 years younger than Rodgers. You can get him for nothing. He's just sitting out there. Gardner Minshew's 27 years old. If you're the Colts, you're not playing for anything this year. You've chosen to hand your team to Anthony Richardson. Maybe you pick up a third-round draft choice for Gardner Minshew out of nowhere. You sign Colt McCoy as a backup, move on, and have a bad season. Here's another one. Would you trade for Kyler Murray? Just kidding. I just want to see the reaction in the room.
No.
Doesn't Minshew make sense, though? It's kind of like, remember when Teddy Bridgewater went down and the Minnesota Vikings thought they had a Super Bowl team, so they traded for Sam Bradford, which didn't work out, but the Philadelphia Eagles fleeced him. If you're the Colts, you could maybe fleece the Jets.
I don't know if Gardner Minshew is, you're able to fleece them over Gardner Minshew.
Well, would you...
I like him. I like Gardner Minshew. I've said that before.
44 touchdowns, 15 picks in his career. He's 27.
Yeah.
And with that roster, he has to hand off, throw it to Garrett Wilson, and let the defense take over.
You got to understand the offense. So they bring in Nathaniel Hackett. They bring in Alan Lazard. They bring in Randall Cobb. They brought in everything for Aaron Rodgers to run Aaron Rodgers' offense. So Zach Wilson gets in there. He's got to learn Aaron Rodgers' offense now with the first team. And you could see where he was struggling a little bit. Just hand the ball off, dude. Don't do much. Hand the ball off. Let's see if we can get out of here with a victory. But I wonder if somebody who was played under Nathaniel Hackett, who's the offensive coordinator, and I don't think there's anybody that you can bring in who knows that system. Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Brett Rippon, Blake Bortles, Chad Henne, Cody Kessler, E.J. Mann, these are guys who have played in Nathaniel Hackett's system. They're not available. Or you don't want them.
Blake Bortles, by the way, is only 31 years old.
Is he?
Out of football. Wow. Wow.
Does Cam Newton call and say, hey, if you need me?
Why not?
Well, he might call, but I don't think Cam Newton would be the guy that you want running that offense. Yes, Marvin.
This is like me having my hand up during pickup, and there's a bunch of really, really good players instead. Hey, I'm ready if you guys need me.
Yeah.
All right, Marvin.
Yeah.
Just sit down.
Yeah. Yes, Todd.
Drew Brees is 44. Is there any scenario that's just...
Yeah, that's funny. There's quarterbacks all over the country right now that were like, I wonder, do I got it in me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cam is like,
oh, yeah,
ready to go.
He's like, honey, let's go out back. Let me see if I still got it.
Let me take the fedora off.
Yeah, let me take that, my scarf. Let me take that off. Get out of here.
Oh, man, I love that.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. That would be funny, though, just to be the operator at the Jets facility. Yes, Philip Rivers, please hold. Gardner, please hold. Tom Brady, I'll put you right through, Tom.
Yeah. You get a lot of, I'm not here. I'm not here.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm busy. I'm not here. What other poll questions do we have there?
Well, we could go negative, as we love to do.
Oh, okay.
We just did who had the worst week yesterday. That just got dramatically different today. Who had the worst week one? The Jets, Aaron Rodgers, say the television networks that probably had a ton of Jets games scheduled.
As Marvin said, what's the earliest you can flex your schedule here? Because all of a sudden the Jets without Aaron Rodgers, still interesting, not as interesting. Yes, Paul.
Jets are on national TV next weekend. They're on national TV week 4 versus the Chiefs. They're on national TV versus the Eagles in week 6. I can go on. They're on national TV versus the Chargers in week 9 versus the Raiders. Jets are on national TV week 10 versus the Raiders. My guess is they were planning to be versus the Bills week 11. That was a 4 o'clock game, but they would have made that one of the big games. They're on national TV week 17 versus the Browns.
More like the Dread Zone.
All
right, Todd. Thank you. Oh, yes, Todd.
Do networks make any kind of deals like ahead of time before they're deciding what games they can do? Like if there's injury, we have an opportunity to, or they're kind of stuck for the most part with all these games?
Well, the other networks don't want to help you out. No.
Hey, you guys do us a solid here, and
yeah. Can you take this game off our hands here?
We're gonna take a pretty big ratings here.
Yeah.
Hit here. You mind?
We spent all this money hoping Aaron Rodgers was going to be playing all these games for the Jets on our network.
I remember working at NBC and Football Night in America. We pilfered a game from CBS. Boomer Esiason was upset about it.
Pissed. I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah. Why do they got to take our game?
Yeah.
Well, because it's a better game.
Yeah.
That's what you negotiate for, Boomer. Yes, Paulie.
It's funny. There was a story in the offseason that Roger Goodell was pushing towards more flexing with Thursday night games, a lot more flexing, and people were up in arms. It was change people's travel schedules. But that's something the NFL does want, more flexing ability.